Welcome back to Invest Global. Today we're going over LedgerScore's recent partnership with Securitants. Now, I've talked about LedgerScore in the past. You can go check out that video here. I will have this link down below in the description. I basically talked about what this project is fundamentally and how they're innovating in the credit space. So why is this important and why am I covering it? Well, when you combine something like Securitants, which is in the regular technology industry, really innovating on, just think about any system. So think about like the United States government, for example. Think about all the bureaucracy, all the regulations, all the kind of hoops you have to jump through to get anything to be passed. Well, all of this is based on trust. You trust your coworkers, you trust the other people in the organization. Most people in a society trust the government. Obviously not all of them, but the point here is it's not transparent. It's not like everyone can see what's going on as far as, okay, how are these different bills really being passed along in the system? How is this information really being passed around an organization? Again, I talk about, okay, with Securitants, it's not just governments. It's not just businesses. It's really everything. You can do this with a new business. You can do this with exchanges. You can do it with banks. There's so many important things in the reg tech industry, regulatory technology industry, and they really provide a lot of things here. Now, with LedgerScore, what does LedgerScore do? Well, they're innovating in the crypto credit score space. So I've talked about projects like Bird Money in the past, and again, I talk about this more in depth in this video, but the point is when you combine these two things, when you mash these together, you truly get a transparent system that's better for everyone. That's what the beauty of a lot of these open source blockchain projects is. It truly helps all of the users. It's truly a win-win. And in business, that's what I always look for. I look for win-wins. I look for partnerships where it's not a win-lose or a lose-win or a lose-lose. No, it's a win-win. You want reciprocity to be built into the system. And that's truly what this is all about. Instead of having someone like Equifax or TransUnion sell your data, which they do, they sell your data. They sell it to credit card companies. It's just predatory and terrible. Especially for young kids, people getting their like college loan, or I was fortunate enough not to do any of those things. I understood credit from a very, very young age and was able to build up my credit. But with the crypto credit space, or someone who maybe didn't know about this, or maybe like they're a single mom and they had to max out all their credit cards and now they can't pay them off. Well, they have a terrible credit score. And now you're able to do this with crypto, right? So you're able to identify that this is my credit score. This is mine related to my crypto wallet address, right? Your private key. So you know where you stand. Your crypto credit score is important for getting a loan, insurance, or even a job. Credit scores typically fall between 300 and 850. How will you score? So very, very important. I like how they have this laid out very, very similar to a lot of these fintech applications. So the main thing is there's a lot of friction with people using the kind of traditional finance system, moving to blockchain decentralized finance systems. And one of the things is just so simple as a user interface, just simplified user interface. It looks like this, looks nice and clean. You can access all your data. You can see kind of what's going on in the market. I think things like this are incredible. A comparable one in the centralized finance space would be something like, I think it's Credit Karma. And with Credit Karma, it's very similar, except man, these companies are just predatory. And Credit Karma is better than other ones, right? It's always relative based on what you're comparing it with. But the point here is we need this in the decentralized finance space. We need blockchain projects working on things like this. And then when you combine these two together, that's the beauty of this. So this is just a nice little article laying this out. And again, everything will be linked down below in the description. So in brief, Securitants announced a number of partnerships over the past 2 weeks, including one with TrustSwap. So I talked about that one with TrustSwap in this video. Let's see, I think it's somewhere in here. I talked about the TrustSwap IDO overview. And by the way, they are live on Uniswap, so you can go check that out if you're interested in the LED token. I do realize that they are not here on CoinGecko, so if you just type in LED, they are on some other alternative sites. I personally prefer CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, but you can see Securitants is trading on here, very low market cap. If we go out here to max charts, it is basically at these lows. So potentially an interesting opportunity. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research. I have that video linked down below every single video that I do, which is how to do your own research. So definitely go check that out. So the project's onboarded multiple clients, while it still is in the talks with many more, as it consistently reports. Now the project announced its brand new partner, LedgerScore, which it deals with personal and business crypto credit. So again, why is this important for Securitants? Remember what I was saying. All these regulatory things. Think about what the government has to do. Think about what a bank has to do to verify, okay, the loan. You have to go in person. You have to fill out all this paperwork. And you might not even get the loan. So it's a waste of human energy. Think about the way I think about this is just a macro view, right? Okay, so let's take a macro view on how do people waste their time and waste their energy throughout life. Life is truly energy over time. That's what you're doing. It's time is really truly the only scarce measurement because you can't get it back. Energy, you can potentially get more energy, right? So you can sleep more. You can do things like optimize your nutrition. You can work out. You can hang out with friends, do things that make you happy and gain energy. You can drink an energy drink, although that's short term, right? So if that energy, you spend all your time building up so you have the most energy throughout your day, throughout your time in the day, but you waste it on things like this, things like going and filing a loan or going to a business and trying to get a new credit card, right? So all these things are taking human energy over time. And the point is there's a lot of bloat in these systems. There's a ton of bureaucracy. And when you're able to cut this out, when you're able to really have a lean approach to this, where there's no trust that, this creepy credit bureau that, is maybe in your local town, or maybe you're forced in a situation where you have to go to these really, really just terrible loan sharks, things like payday loans that some people are forced into. And a lot of times they completely screw over the people that go there. And this is amazing because LedgerScore and Securedence partnering up. Think about it. You have Securedence linked up with a bank account's using LedgerScore. They can instantly verify. They don't have to trust you saying you have the right credit score, you saying you have the right income. They can verify all that on the blockchain. And you can use other things like you can use things like BlockFi or these other platforms that help you get loans. And then think about all these things matched up. So in this amazing ecosystem, you have all these decentralized applications that really, really just beautify the whole industry. So Q1 of 2021, I always talk about analyzing their roadmap, whatever projects you're looking at, analyzing their past, really their past kind of milestones. And if they follow through there, then you can go, okay, if they really follow through there, and then it's more likely that they will get these things done. And if they get these things done, that's potentially like an investment thesis. You can go, okay, so maybe when they have the Secure.mfa, new authentication methods, maybe that's going to be huge. But also what tends to happen is a lot of these projects do amazing things. Fundamentally, they do amazing papers. Look at Cardano. I mean, the most tested papers, but then you look at Ethereum and it's like Ethereum just innovates. They don't really care about all these peer-reviewed papers. They just are constantly pushing for progress. And to be quite honest, what happens typically is like, even if a project is doing amazing things in the roadmap, even if they're doing, they've done the industry certification, they've done the registration, it's not that big of a deal, because in reality, a lot of this space is built on narratives. A lot of it's built on hype. A lot of it's built on sentiments. I like to focus on fundamentals and technicals because I know over the long term, those are more important than short-term hype bubbles of everybody FOMOing into a meme coin like Dogecoin. Well, guess what? Dogecoin really isn't helping the world. I think Securedence and LedgerScore combined together can truly help a lot of things and can truly fix a lot of problems, just as I kind of laid out before. So Q2 of 2021, third-party ecosystem and token utility introduction, token private allocation, token sale via public launchpad. SKRT is introduced into the ecosystem. Q4, developer app integration launchpad or pad launch. Q1 2022, introducing new third party. Okay, so interesting. That's what they have down there. You can check out their white paper here. Let's see. I'll just read through this real quick. So DeFi project Securedence recently started entering the partnerships and onboarding clients at a rapid rate after a prolonged period of development in the background. So security and regulatory compliance have been one of the larger focuses of the crypto industry for ages. Unfortunately, the industry is far from being either at this point. However, this is not so difficult to understand, given that most governments are still uncertain about the crypto industry and some are actively resisting it. Many are not, even trying to regulate it. Those that have found that the task is next to impossible as the industry is still changing and maturing. However, there are some guidelines and directions that the authorities were able to provide, especially when it comes to crypto-related companies. But becoming compliant is often difficult for firms to do on their own. So this is what I'm talking about. Just like governments, just like businesses, just like banks, just like exchanges, you have to be, especially in this space, you have to be transparent. And you're going to have to, especially, if you're going to be a centralized exchange, you're going to be one of these companies like BlockFi, you got to go with these regulations. And it's great for decentralized applications because they're typically run by a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, so they can kind of get the best of both worlds, and not have this kind of single point of failure that something like Coinbase or something like BlockFi has. If Coinbase or BlockFi gets on the wrong side of the SEC or the wrong side of any of these kind of global financial instruments, which the big banks, the central banks, definitely are not pro crypto, in my opinion. They're definitely anti crypto. Just look at how JP Morgan has changed his tune, Jamie Dimon. So very important to keep in mind. I'll kind of wrap this up here in a second, but I just kind of wanted to recap this. Like, why is this important? Well, there's again so many use cases for what's going on here. When you look at Securitas, when you look at LedgerScore, again, for LedgerScore, you can use it for business, you can use it for personal. You have to understand in the traditional finance system, there's both personal and business credit scores. It's very, very powerful to build up both. I've been fortunate to do so because then you have, think about it, like if you don't have any credit line, if you're just scared of credit, if you do the Dave Ramsey approach, which is just cut up all your credit cards, cut up all the cards and go no credit. Well, when you're going to need a credit line, if you know how to actually use credit to your advantage, it's just like trading, guys. It's just like margin trading or leverage trading. If you know how to ride the wave of trading, if you know how to ride volatility, cap your downside, and set a plan so you're logical and rational in the market rather than just emotional, well, you can use it to your advantage. And it can be you can cut out a ton of time that you would have wasted just saving up money to spend. Rather, if you have a credit line and you know you can pay it off, I just use it, pay it off right away. So that's what builds up your score. And it's similar here in the crypto space. It's similar for business. This is what a lot of great people in the real estate industry use. They use debt. They use leverage to make big things happen. You can't just lift a boulder up just by going underneath of it and trying to pick it up, but rather take a small little boulder, grab a plank, and leverage it up. That's truly the power of leverage. Obviously an analogy, but I hope you understand kind of what I'm talking about here, why credit is important, why Securitas is so powerful in the reg tech space. And a lot of this is a little bit, if you go into a lot of these details, it's really for more for institutions, right? So it's more for businesses, more for governments, more for banks, things like this. Even things like universities can use it. Because man, like the grading system, all these things throughout pretty much all organizations in the legacy space, well, it's based on a lot of trust, and it's no human is infallible. So a lot of things kind of slip through the cracks. Whereas if you had everything ran on the blockchain, everything was verifiable, everything is transparent, everything is open source, well, you don't have a lot of these issues. And I think this is one of the main things that I see that they're doing incredibly. So again, go check out this article. Go check out LedgerScore, Securitas. So that's basically it for this episode. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. You can follow us on Twitter at investglobal_IO. Follow LedgerScore. I'll have, again, everything linked down below in the description. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, like the video, hit subscribe on the channel, hit the notification bell to stay up to date. It's time-sensitive content. Go check out their listing on Uniswap. Again, do your own research for both these projects, but I hope you at least understand the thesis and kind of how I'm looking at this long-term perspective. Like in the short term, like I said, a lot of this current bull run is built off of hype, but I think moving forward, like I look at these things long-term, guys. I think so many people get caught up in tunnel vision looking for quick gains. This is not where this is a space where you can make quick gains, but that's not what I'm optimizing for. It's really stoic versus Epicurean. A nation is born stoic and it dies Epicurean. And a lot of people in this space are Epicurean. A lot of people are just going YOLO, YOLO. Let's throw all our money in GameStop or these kind of meme coins or meme stocks like stonks, like AMC. And it's, man, it can be fun in the short term. It can be a giggle, if you're young, but truly over the long term, it kind of pulls you back. You want to build these fundamentals. That's why in Global TA, Global Technical Analysis, I go deep into technical analysis, into trading, into building the proper fundamentals to use in the markets, to trade in capital markets, and to actually make money in capital markets. So that's all for this video. Again, like, subscribe button all, invest global, and until next time.